a struggle against pride, snobbery, and prejudice.
My, oh my, what's that? Good gracious! Lady Catherine de Bourgh! Come in, give yourself. Let me take your dog. Let me take your jacket. What brings you here at such an hour?
How quaint.
Sit down, Lady Catherine, sit down.
And where is Elizabeth?
I can fetch her. Elizabeth! Elizabeth, darling! Elizabeth! There you are. Sit down. Lady Catherine is here to see you.
I hope you are well, Miss Bennet. And, this lady is your mother.
Yes.
And, this lady is your sister.
Yes, madame. She is my youngest girl but one. My youngest of all is lately married, and my eldest is somewhere about the grounds with a young man who I soon hope to be part of the family soon, if you know what I mean.
You have a very small park here.
It is nothing in comparison to the Rosings, my lady, but I dare say, but I assure you, it's much larger than Sir William Lucas's.
This must be a very inconvenient sitting room in the evening in summer. The windows are full west.
We never linger here after dinner. May I take the liberty of asking your ladyship whether you left Mr. and Mrs. Collins well?
Yes, very well. I saw them the night before last.
Indeed. Let me offer you some refreshments, I beg of you.
No, I didn't think you'd have anything to my taste. Miss Bennet, will you accompany me and show me around the house?
Go, my dear, and have a look around the different rooms. With her ladyship, I think she will be pleased with everything. Don't forget the hermitage.
I suppose that must be quite comfortable for some. Decent.
Indeed. I dare say, as soon as they finished the tour, Lady Catherine began in the following manner. Tally-ho!
You could be at no loss, Miss Bennet, to understand the reason for my journey hither. Your own heart, your own conscience must tell you.
Indeed, madam, you are mistaken. I have not at all been able to account for the honor of seeing you here.
Ha ha ha! That's hard cheese.
Miss Bennet, you ought to know I am not to be trifled with. But however insincere you may be, you shall not find me to be so. My character has always been celebrated for its sincerity and frankness. Even in such a moment as this, you shall not find that to come to a halt. A report of a most alarming nature came to me 2 days ago. It said that a Miss Elizabeth Bennet would soon surely be engaged to my nephew, my own nephew, Mr. Darcy. Though I know it to be a very scandalous rumor, I still thought it would be very necessary for me to come here and ask about it myself.
If you believed it impossible to be true, I wonder why you took the trouble of coming so far.
Do you then pretend to be ignorant of it? Has it not been industriously circulated by yourselves?
I never heard that it was.
And then you can likewise declare that there is no foundation.
I do not pretend to possess equal frankness with your ladyship. You may ask questions which I shall not choose to answer.
I insist on being satisfied. Has my nephew made you an offer of marriage?
Your ladyship has declared it to be impossible.
Miss Bennet, do you know who I am? I am not accustomed to language such as this. My nephew, I'm almost his nearest relation in the world, and I have a right to know his dearest concerns.
But you are not at liberty to know mine.
They're getting along quite swimmingly.
Mr. Darcy is engaged to my daughter. While in their cradles, we planned their union, and now, to be broken up by a young woman of no importance, with no connections? Are you lost to every feeling of propriety and decency?
If there is no other objection to me marrying your nephew, I shall certainly not be kept from it.
Unfeeling, selfish girl! Do you not consider that his connections with you will disgrace him in the eyes of everybody?
Lady Catherine, I have nothing further to say.
You are then resolved to have him?
I have said no such thing. I am only resolved to act in a manner which will constitute my happiness.
Very well. I now know how I shall have to act. But do not suppose that your ambition will ever be realized. I take no leave of you, and I give no compliments to your mother.